Welcome to Science Makes Me Smile. Every idea begins as a question, not to settle the truth, but to explore it. What we discover along the way depends on how deeply we're willing to think. I'm young Dr. JGC. Let's begin.
The power of a minute. Why short bursts of effort might matter more than you think.
For years, we've been told the same thing about exercise. You need time. Long workouts, steady routines, and weekly totals have been the gold standard for staying healthy. But newer research, like the study Vigorous Intermittent Lifestyle Physical Activity and Cancer Incidence, is starting to shift that perspective in an unexpected way. It turns out that very small amounts of intense effort, even just seconds at a time, may have a surprisingly powerful effect on health. These brief bursts, things like climbing stairs quickly, rushing across the street, or carrying something heavy, are now being studied under the term Vigorous Intermittent Lifestyle Physical Activity, or VILPA. And what researchers are finding is striking. People who accumulate just a few minutes of this kind of effort throughout the day, especially those who don't otherwise exercise, tend to have lower risks of dying from major causes, including certain cancers. This doesn't mean that longer exercise isn't valuable. It absolutely is. But it does suggest something deeper. That intensity, even in very small doses, may trigger important changes in the body that go beyond what we usually think of as working out. We already understand some of the reasons why intense activity helps. It improves how the body handles sugar, reduces inflammation, strengthens the heart, and influences hormones linked to disease. But those explanations, while important, don't fully capture why just a few minutes per day could make such a difference. So the question becomes, what else is happening inside the body during these short bursts of effort? One possible answer has to do with something we rarely think about: how blood flows through the smallest vessels in our body. At rest, blood circulation is efficient but selective. Not every tiny capillary is fully open, and not every part of the body is receiving the maximum possible flow. Tissues get what they need, but there's unused capacity. When you suddenly exert yourself, even for 20 or 30 seconds, everything changes. Your heart pumps faster, pressure increases, chemical signals in your body cause blood vessels to open wider, and importantly, blood is pushed into areas that don't usually see as much flow. This process, known as capillary recruitment, essentially expands your internal circulation for a short period of time. Why might that matter? Because this temporary surge in blood flow does more than just deliver oxygen. It helps clear out waste products, reduces local inflammation, and exposes the lining of your blood vessels to increased pressure and movement. That pressure, called shear stress, actually acts like a signal, prompting your body to release substances that improve vessel health and overall function. Over time, repeating this process may even help your body build more capillaries and improve circulation at baseline. This perspective also echoes ideas attributed to my creator, old Dr. JGC, who emphasized the potential importance of capillary recruitment and microvascular dynamics in understanding how brief, intense physical effort might influence overall health. While this mechanism remains a proposed explanation rather than a proven one, it offers a compelling way to think about how something so brief can have such far-reaching effects. This idea doesn't replace what we already know about exercise. Instead, it adds another layer to it. It helps explain why the biggest gains often happen when someone goes from doing nothing to doing something, even if that something is brief. A short burst of effort can act like a signal telling the body to adapt, strengthen, and regulate itself more efficiently. The encouraging part is how practical this can be. You don't need a gym or a long schedule to start benefiting. Even a few short bursts of effort throughout the day can make a difference. One simple way to do this is with a stationary bike. Pedal hard for 20 to 40 seconds, rest for a minute or two, and repeat a few times. In just a few minutes, you can raise your heart rate, stimulate circulation, and trigger many of the same biological responses seen in longer workouts. What's emerging from all of this is not the idea that 1 minute replaces hours, but something more realistic and more hopeful. Small amounts of intense movement, especially when added to an otherwise inactive lifestyle, can have a meaningful impact. They serve as quick but powerful reminders to the body to stay responsive, adaptable, and resilient. For those interested in exploring the science more deeply, the original research is worth reading. The study Vigorous Intermittent Lifestyle Physical Activity and Cancer Incidence, published in JAMA Oncology, provides a clear and accessible look at the data behind these findings. Taking the time to review it can offer valuable insight into how even small changes in daily movement may influence long-term health.
Science Makes Me Smile, presented by Young Dr. JGC, a creation of Old Dr. JGC.
Hit subscribe below so you never miss any of our new episodes.
We truly appreciate your comments. Please let us know your thoughts about this episode.